So I've been seeing a lot of discourse about how part of the reason that club culture is cooked is because ladies are no longer free. And let me just start by saying, I think the concept of a woman paying 20, 30, sometimes $40+ to be in the presence of straight men is egregious. So I thoroughly agree. But as someone who is 27, so still clubbing age, has been going out for a little over a decade at this point, when I was 16, 17, whatever. I'm from New York. I was outside. Sue me.
There's a bunch of things to unpack here. Where do we start? Women want advantage, not equality.
I think the concept of a woman paying 20, 30, sometimes $40+ is egregious.
Everything being equal, you gotta pay as much as a guy gotta pay to get in. You don't want to do that. One, because you're actually broke. You ran all your credit cards up. Now you want to ruin this guy's credit. Second, you was outside. That's not a problem. But at 16 and 17,
she belongs to the streets.
That's literally what I was outside translates to. I was a hoe. Sue me. I'm from New York. You can't say that nowhere else in life. I'm musty, but I'm from New York. You know how it is. No, I don't. You musty bitch.
But timeline wise, that means that I was at the tail end of like that hair done, nails done, everything did era. The girls showing up to the club like their 5-inch heels and their bandage dresses all the way decked out. Yes, for the most part, admission for women was almost always free. But something that I think a lot of people need to understand, especially as you get older, is that there is no such thing as free lunch, meaning no one is doing anything for you for the sake of being nice. There's always a price to pay.
This is so infuriating because even nerds is hoes out here. You nerdy bitch, you are a straight dweeb. You should be appalled that people want to give you anything for free, especially as a single independent woman who don't need no man.
And the concept of women being free to get into the club were clubs following this very specific business model where you pack out the venue with as many beautiful women as possible, and that will attract men who are willing to spend lots of money to be in their presence. And you can still see that in some U.S. cities like Miami and Vegas. The caveat here, though, is if clubs go back to the widespread ladies free, that also means the widespread return of dress code and door people, for better or for worse. And I've got to be honest, for a generation of people who your quintessential going out outfit is a Shein top, mom jeans, and beater shoes.
Let's stop it right here. This lady is boring. What she's talking about is boring. These women want to be respected for their minds, but no one cares. Once I get to know you, maybe I can respect you for your mind. If you're going out looking like these hoes, because that's the thing about you.
Tell me, JR, which slut are you going to stay with tonight?
What difference does it make? Whoever it is, it's got to be more interesting than the slut I'm looking at right now.
You're a hoe. You're a you fuck on a first date. That's not beneath you. That's your style. You can't go to the club looking like this. You're repelling men. Maybe that's what you're trying to do. So why not charge you $30, $40 to get in?
Hit me, baby, one more time!
For this reason, your insurance claim was denied. Stop letting these weirdo chicks drive your car, man. What's wrong with you? You haven't learned yet? You will soon.
One complaint I have about the Philippines is that we don't embrace our skin tone. Like, why is everything... Why since as early as 7 days? Why does it include white? Like, look at this. This includes glutathione, also known as whitening something. Like, why are we like that? Why do we want to be lightening, deep, like... No, it says whitening has 7 days.
It just said.
Why do us Filipinos want to be white when we have the most beautiful skin color and skin tone? Do you guys know that in Europe and in America, people pay money to get a spray tan to get our color, and we're here trying to white our ass off?
Ate, hindi yan. Naniwala ka.
And my dad's trying to convince me, no, I'm not doing that. So my question is, why do we want to be white?
Yeah, we could speak on that, but that's strictly for the members. Not strictly for the ninjas, strictly for my members. Why? Because there's a lot of you passport brothers out there who have relocated to the Philippines, who are watching us from the Philippines. Shout out to you, sir. You are, in fact, winning.
Why is it always the broke-ass women that got the most to say about broke-ass dudes this and broke-ass
dudes that, and broke men don't have anything to offer. Meanwhile, these are the same women that used their last dollar to take an Uber to some Netflix and chills guy's house because they don't even have a car. Make that make sense. The same women that are preaching independent this and independent that, and they pay their own bills, are the ones that are on government assistance, getting money from their baby daddies, having their parents pay their freaking way. Meanwhile, claiming they do it all. These are the same women that don't have a 401k, that don't have a savings account, that have nothing to offer a man. And the only reason that she doesn't want to go 50-50 is because that man's bills is more than she makes in a month, even at 50-50. Because a real woman that is secure, that has her finances together, and that is financially responsible is not talking about broke ass this and broke ass that, and what is he going to do for me, and what is he going to give to me, and what gifts is he going to buy me. Like, obviously, if you're only making $12 an hour for 20 hours a week at a part-time job, there's no way that you can come in and even pay 50% on a $400 bill. That's going to be like your whole freaking check, girl. I have never seen a woman that's secure with her finances ever talk about broke men, because she actually knows what she brings to the fucking table. You can always tell the broke girls by what they want a man to buy them, because they can't afford it themselves. These are the same women that are always talking about my deadbeat baby daddy, but you're broke too, girl. If you weren't so broke, then why are you dependent on his child support or government assistance? Make it make sense. I swear, it's always the broke-ass girls that go so hard for broke-ass dudes because it's projection.
I just gotta switch the topic right fast. She not that cute, in my opinion. But with these talking points, and if she really thinks like this, she'll make you mess with her. That's just me. You guys talk to me in the comments. A woman who had these ideals, would you deal with her, or would you be like, nah, my girl gotta be a baddie?
I'm ready to be married. I'm ready to have kids, and I'm ready to just settle down.
You already missed me with the I'm ready to. Like, guys with THUC is just on tap. What's THUC, you ask? Well, that's what you need in any lasting relationship. Trust, honesty, understanding, and communication. Fuck. Look in your heart of hearts, men. Every long-lasting relationship has THUC in it. But don't get me wrong, use a thought-tastic hair on top of hair, eyelash on top of eyelash wearing chick. There's some simps that'll take you under the wing, but men who's gonna give you that more that you weirdo bitches be asking for, they not waiting around for you subpar hoes to get ready. That's why I asked you men, would you mess with a girl who thought like this? A lot of dudes would be like, man, I'd have snatched her up, we gone.
Any man will admit that. Even me, if I meet the right woman, I'm snatching her up, period. I'm not saying she's going to be perfect. No woman is going to be perfect, but the 80-20 rule does apply. I'm snatching her up quick. I don't care what nobody say. I'm snatching her up. I'm putting her in a position. And that's just the reality of it. So if you're a good woman, and especially if you're in your 30s and 40s and you ain't got no man, then you're not a good woman. You need to look at yourself and ask yourself why you ain't got no man.
And tell us again right fast, Dr. BOA, why should this attractive girl who could have been had a man in her teens and early 20s look at herself and say, why don't I got a man?
All good women have a man. All good women already have a man. If you're a good woman and you're single, you fool yourself into believing you're a good woman. You are not a good woman, and that's why you don't have a man. Because when a man meets a good woman, he snatches her up.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
I'm only 20 years old, but I don't want to be in the streets. I never belonged in the streets. I'm meant for someone who loves me. I'm sorry. I've always been this way. I've been this way since I was 16 years old. I know who I am. I want a career. I want a life. But, like, I don't care to date hella people. I just want my husband to find me.
Now, for this, I'm going to let Gypsy react to this and break this down right fast, because this lady surprised me. And me and her was talking about something like this off camera before. And Gypsy is fluent in girl speak. So she's going to decode what this lady's really saying.
So I hear her saying that she is 20 years old. Somebody correct me if I heard that wrong. I'm looking at her whole package as I'm saying what I'm saying. So I'm looking at the way you're styling yourself, the way you speak, the way your attitude comes off, the setting that you are in, your age group that you potentially belong to, which is hard to tell nowadays because these girls be looking like you can't tell what age anybody is anymore since everybody is just caking on makeup. And so I'm looking at all of that, all right? And I'm also looking at what she's claiming that she wants out of a relationship. Now, that being said, some green flags, some red flags. Overall, if a man told me, can you assess this girl? I'm interested in her. Like, should I pursue it or not? For this specific girl, I would say she's got more green lights than red lights, okay? The reason why I'm saying that is because if in fact she is actually 20 years old, like I thought I heard her say, then this is the time that you are supposed to be picking your husband. Prime pickings, when you're in your prime body, prime level of beauty. So that's now, while she's in her 20s, her early 20s. She just turned 20. I got a son who just turned 20, and I'm coaching him now on what to look for in a future wife and how he needs to be carrying himself as a potential husband. The only problem here, okay, which I don't know if I should say this is a red flag because I don't really know her preference. She's not mentioning it. She's not saying what she's looking for in her husband, right? So let's throw out all the nonsense about his looks and how much money he makes and how fancy his car and his house is. That's all superficial nonsense.
We do not care.
But as far as his mental and spiritual stability, we don't really know where that lies for her. What is your measuring stick? Did you have a father in your life? Were you raised by a single mother? What's going on, right? Because all of that is going to determine how she's viewing a man who she decides should be the head of her household. Don't think it doesn't. So with a girl like this, I would say here are some of the green flags. She's young and she's looking to settle down. She's not looking for a boyfriend or a plaything or a baby daddy. Specifically, she's using this word husband. So she's not afraid of the idea of marriage. Green flag number 2, she's not half dressed. She's got pretty much most of her body covered up. She's still attractive. You can see that she put on some light makeup, but she hasn't gone overboard. From here, I don't see any artificial eyelashes. And her hair is a weave because those long extension braids usually are. But that's not really here or there because you really can't get a full braided hair look without using extensions. So most girls get a pass for that. So this is like the normal level of enhancement I would assume any self-respecting woman would do when she's being seen in public and not just looking a hot old mess or going overboard looking like a stripper. All of those things are green flags. Now, some red flags that I'm seeing. Oh, and another green flag is that she's not talking like a crazy girl. I don't hear her saying a bunch of stuff that sounds like she's being selfish or like she wants the whole relationship to revolve around herself. So hopefully, let's hope that she's got a good female role model in her life who is the person who she's basically learning how to be a wife from, and that person is successful in her marriage. Now, red flags, and not all of these are her fault. She just lives in a world where young people are prone to following trends. So I don't totally blame her for this part, but red flag for me is filming in your car. What is with these girls that's always in their cars? Like, I want you to film in your bedroom. What does it look like in the space where you be at the most? Why y'all always coming out to the car? Usually the toxic girls come out to the car because that's where it's quiet. Their children are not screaming and yelling in the background because them girls got no control over their kids because they're talking about topics that are highly inappropriate for child's ears or for other people in their family in the household to be hearing them talking about. A lot of these girls who are lonely, who hang out on the internet all day, they're embarrassed by that. Their family doesn't know that they feel this way. So they put on a happy face for their roommates or whoever they live with, but deep down, the stuff they're talking about on the internet, which is their daily diary apparently, that's how they really feel, and it's very embarrassing as a woman to admit that you're manless and you don't know how to get one. The third red flag that I'm seeing is, Miss Ma'am, I like what you're saying, but why are you telling us on this weird ass app? Why are y'all on TikTok talking to the entire public about your preferences and your likes and your dislikes and your... Who cares? Who is on that app that gives a hot damn about what y'all talking about? If you're looking for a good man, he's not on TikTok. If you're looking for just any old man, yes, there's a bunch of them on TikTok, but y'all women don't even like those guys. So even though they flood your DMs with a bunch of compliments, you never talk back to any of them. Go look in the comment section of these women who live on the internet and see how many men they're responding to in their comments. The only men they probably ever respond to are the guys who are talking to them in a toxic way. Anybody who's like, you're gorgeous, you're so beautiful, I'm single, I'm looking for a woman, they never talk back to those guys. So what in the hell is you doing sitting in your car talking on TikTok? This is the worst way to present yourself to any potential man who you think is going to take you serious. I'm sorry, ladies, it is what it is. So these are red flags for me. Now, a yellow flag is that what she could be doing is soft baiting a guy, a specific guy, because she doesn't really know how to approach him or talk to him or get his attention. And most women, if we throw ourselves at a guy, we're not going to do it in a very obvious way. We're going to do it obvious to other women, but we're not doing it obvious to a man. So a man watching her do this may not even realize she's doing it. But I, as a woman, know this is a tactic a lot of shy girls use when they're basically trying to like bait the man to approach them so that they can have an excuse to talk to them. And perhaps the guy who she actually has a crush on in real life is someone who's following her TikTok. So she's making this video trying to basically like lure him in, let him know she's trying to get scooped up, and hoping and praying and wishing that he's actually gonna watch her content and get the hint. A lot of girls do this because they don't got no game, okay? Women don't know how to date. They don't know how to get the guys that they want. But if you're serious, you're gonna try. And in girl world, this is trying. This is what trying looks like. So in her vague way, she'll make a video like this hoping he gets the hint. So that way, if he rejects her, she's got the plausible deniability of saying, I wasn't doing that for him. It was just a general video that I was making, just a rant. I was just getting some things off my chest. But if he does take the bait, then in her head, she's like, yes, it worked. You know what I'm saying? So that could be what you're seeing here. But honestly, I doubt that that's what it is because she is very young. And a lot of these young girls, they just have a habit of using their TikTok and whatever social media they happen to be on as their digital diaries. So they don't have a sense of modesty to know not to tell everybody your personal thoughts and feelings and problems on the internet where literally anybody can see you and you don't know what those people are doing with the footage, with the things you're saying. Like, did she make this video knowing she was going to get analyzed by some random lady on the internet on a completely different platform? Of course she didn't. She's not a content creator. She didn't make this for content. She was just bored. She was just trying to vent. She was just trying to think out loud, and everybody wants to have an audience now, so she can't just think it in her own head. She has to have this feedback loop of other people telling her in her comment section, oh yeah, girl, that's how I feel too. And like basically corroborating her feelings so she can feel validated because she ain't got no man who would be the person that does that for you. So this is my analysis of what's going on here. But overall, like I said, if you run into a woman who's talking like this, my advice to like one of my guy friends would be, don't cross her off the list because you can actually work with a girl like this. She may be pliable. She may be willing to cooperate. As that clip where Dr. BOA was talking and he said, no woman is going to be perfect, but if she's a good woman, I can work with her. And this is usually how good women speak. A woman like this will probably end up being a very good mom. She probably will dote on the idea of serving her family, cooking meals for them, keeping the house neat and clean, organizing herself. And like she said, I want a career. I want to do all that stuff. And that was another green flag. These weirdos on the internet will have you thinking if you're a career woman, you can't also be a family woman, which is completely not true. And they'll say you're strong as a woman if you go to work instead of being part of your family, building your family up. Women like me and other wives will say those are the weak women. Y'all can only do one or the other. What kind of woman are you? You can't do both? What's wrong with you? You can't multitask? I thought you was all of that. So I like the way she's talking. I'll go to work, but I also want to be a wife. She'd have to elaborate more on what she thinks a wife's job is. What does she expect to be doing as a wife? Because you don't just get to have the ring, go get a wedding, take all the pictures, and then you go right back to your usual ways of everything revolves around me. Some women think that that's what being a wife is. It ain't. But let's just hope that that's not what she means. You can work with a girl like this. So this is what you're looking for, guys, when you're trying to figure out if a girl is crazy or not. If she's talking something similar to this, you can try. You can work on it. She's gonna say some things that sound like red flags. And I just gave you guys a couple of red flags. So she's got both going on here. But I'd rather talk to a girl who's got a little bit of both overall green flags than someone who's got nothing but red flags and no green flags except for how big her butt size is. That's my take.
Give me my kid! Give me my goddamn kid! Give me my kid!
This mom found out her child's dad got a babysitter, and for some reason, she lost it. Watch what happens next. The dad called the cops on her, and they wasted no time. Then this happened.
You're super ugly ass.
Now you're just being mean, ma'am.
I am being mean. You're gonna arrest me for that and charge me for that too? Is it funny to you?
I'm not even talking to you right now.
You're smiling though. You're such an asshole.
You're yelling at me.
This is why people hate cops.
Right now, ma'am.
You're getting angry for being very nice. You have an ass ass face. Don't you know that?
Here's what happened after. Police say she was charged with vandalism, trespassing, child endangerment, and harassment. The broken glass alone caused hundreds in damage, and witnesses claim she was screaming threats while holding her child. In court, the judge called her behavior reckless and dangerous, sentencing her to 6 months in county jail and ordering her to pay over $3,000 in restitution. She's now banned from contacting the babysitter and must complete anger management before seeing her child unsupervised.
Gross.
The boom,